What's up, guys? It is an absolute gorgeous day out here. I'm out here scouting this little property here, shed hunting, seeing where the deer are moving and just taking a walk because I mean, you can't ask for a better day. It's like 68 degrees, sunny, not a cloud in the sky. But I want to thank you guys for joining in on this video, and I want to talk about what is the purpose of food plots. And there's two main reasons for food plots. But number one reason why, what the purpose is of a food plot is to attract deer to a certain area, create a pattern of use to attract them to a food source. And that food source, typically, if you are just wanting to attract deer to a certain area, whether you want a bow shot, 20-yard, 30-yard bow shot, if you want to rifle hunt over that food plot, you're looking at somewhere around an acre or less. Most people, most hunters are creating, I get emails dozens a day. Guys are creating eighth of an acre food plots, quarter acres, square, we're talking super small square foot food plots. And I think some people get a false sense about that is if they create this eighth acre food plot, you're really benefiting the deer herd. And in reality, you're probably not with an eighth acre food plot. You're going to attract them for sure if you do it the right way with soil samples and the correct lime and fertilizer and the correct species of plants that you plant in your part of the country. But that eighth acre food plot is not doing much other than attracting them to that area. As long as you're not spooking the deer off of that plot constantly, you can get away with it a couple times. But if you're doing it, time after time after time, they're just gonna skedaddle. Attract deer. Most hunters, when they're planting food plots, they just want to attract deer to a certain area to get a 20, 30, 40-yard bow shot, to rifle hunt over it, and all that good stuff, which is fine. If that's what you want to do, great. Food plots, I'm all for green and growing. Green is the base for attracting deer. It's what a deer goes to. They seek out the most palatable green food source in the area, and you can't go wrong with green. I'm all for green, way above dumping a corn pile on the ground and things like that. Number two reason why we plant food plots is you're actually trying to benefit that deer herd. You're planting large enough food plots. You're starting to get above 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 10 acre food plots, and you're actually trying to provide that year-round food source for as many months as possible throughout the year. And depending on what part of the country you're in, south, north, east, west, you have different growing seasons. You have different length of growing seasons, and it all depends what species that you plant is going to depend on how long that actually lasts throughout the year. So if you're in an area that is just large timber, large woods, it has no sun to the floor, you're going to have low browse value and the deer are going to be hungry. If you're in agriculture areas and they're planting tons of soybeans and corn and alfalfa, and there's clovers everywhere, you get out Midwest, they have the woods, you have hedgerows, you have lots of fields, you have sun hitting those fields, creating extra browse. The farmers are manicuring their crops, their lime, their fertilizer, soil sampled. So you're going to have a larger deer out in the Midwest compared to what you have in the north, or say the northeast here. But with that said, if you do it the proper way, if you plant food plots in the fall, you can bring those deer into the fall with higher nutrition values, and then it may go dormant. They may lack there for a month or two throughout the winter, but once spring starts to come back up, you're going to have that green base, tons of food coming back in. If you plant winter wheat, clovers and things like that, you can jumpstart that nutrition to wildlife throughout the winter into the spring. But keep in mind, with all of this, food plots are supplemental. They're not the fix-all be all to deer nutrition. I mean, yes, if you plant large enough ones, they can provide that deer plenty of nutrition if you do it the right way with soil samples, liming, fertilizer, micronutrients, and all that. But keep in mind, again, that they're supplemental. A deer's diet, a base to a deer's diet is browse. Green and growing, browse. When the leaves are dormant, the leaves are gone, they fall off, a deer transitions to woody browse. So if you're on a property that has no woody browse, no briars, no shrubs, no bushes, no undergrowth coming up because the property's shaded out, the deer are going to be hungry, and you need to either fix that or create more food plots so that you can provide a year-round food source to those animals, especially turkeys and rabbits and deer and everything like that. So food plots are supplemental. They're not the fix-all be-all. You need browse, you need undergrowth, you need briars, you need bushes, you need shrubs, you need regeneration of everything. You got to have that base if you're trying to provide a year-round nutritional value to deer. So keep that in mind, guys. Most people are creating them to attract deer. That's number one reason. Number two is you're trying to provide a year-round food source, but they're not the fix-all be-all. So if you guys have any questions, leave a comment down below, and I'll see you guys on the next video.